Hi, this is Jess, and today I have another pick a card reading for you on how are they currently feeling about you. This one's probably going to be a little in depth. Somebody asked me to make the choices more similar to one another, so I'm trying to find things in my house. Sorry if this is crazy. My husband was laughing at me the whole time I was raiding the pantry. But I do have 3 choices for you today. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So if you need another minute, actually, I guess I'll show these to you. This is embarrassing. Pile number 1 is dill. That makes a difference to you. Pile number 2 is lemon pepper. Favorite seasoning of all time. Pile number 3 is parsley. Yeah, so if you need another minute to choose, go ahead and pause the video here. Otherwise, let's jump right in with pile number 1. All right, let's see. We have, I'm trying even though it doesn't seem like it. I'm intimidated by you. Wow, what's going on? Okay, sorry. Sometimes I know that is about to sound weird, but sometimes I feel like the cards want to come out a certain way and I couldn't figure out what way they wanted to come out. So, okay. Why are you guys even here right now? How do they feel about you? The Sun. They feel the Sun about you. This is Major Arcana, so it's pulling a lot of weight in this reading. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. They feel that you are, I wanted to say warm, but like not in a creepy way. You know, you brighten up their day. You have a brilliant personality. People really like you. Especially in this deck, maybe there's some women that are around you, but I feel like you're a person who brings people of all ages together, and you can find something similar about you and someone else, you know, regardless of who that person is, even if, you know, somebody's like not in your age group or whatever. Yeah, you're great. I feel like this person loves to watch you move around a room. Like they kind of track you, like these sunflowers track the sun here. And you're just overall a really great person. They find you to be really intelligent, maybe even philosophically minded. They really like to hear what you have to say about spiritual things, because I feel like you might be a little bit overlooked by other people with the dill here, because dill is a great spice and it is overlooked, and you should add some to your ranch. You will not be disappointed. But like everybody likes ranch, and then dill makes it even better. So I feel like you make a group or a gathering even better. And yeah, and you might not get all the credit that you deserve all the time, but this person just thinks you're absolutely wonderful. Also, you might be starting a new project or something where and your person, or there's something about you that your person feels like is growing. Like it's like this baby here, right? The metaphor, like it's growing inside of you, and that you are just such a blessing to the world. And maybe even there's a project, especially with the Capricorn coming up here, there could be like a project or like a job situation, something that you're working on that you're the center of in some way, or you're working to come out in the spotlight with something that is going to be very helpful to the world, very healing. And then I also feel like your person thinks that you're a natural born leader, and you do it with a lot of grace. You're not like a leader that, you know, tries to squish everybody or whatever. Like you have a knack for making things grow around you, whether that's people or social groups, people's ideas. You uplift a lot of people. Sun dominant people, that's one of their best qualities is a sun. You can tell a sun dominant person because they're always lifting other people up. They're not really threatened by other people's success. There's a place for everybody, and even better if we can all figure out ways to work together, right? I do kind of think they find you a little hard to get to know. Oh my gosh, I just looked up here. Okay, so you also have the Thief card, and the light attribute says, this is so beautiful, you're going to want to sit down. It says, sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. That is exactly what I'm getting with the Sun card here. That you just have this inner beauty, this inner shine, this inner wisdom that comes straight from source, and it just cannot be stolen. And that you're someone who's here like to be in the spotlight for something. You have a project, you have something that's burning within you that you're really bringing forward, or you have just this engine in you that's just very energetic and such a refreshing. Dill is such a refreshing spice, by the way, but it's like really refreshing. What does this say? Vibrant flavor. Yeah, you're vibrant. You're so vibrant, and you're non-GMO and non-irritated. So good for you. Also with this Uranus card here, my husband can't even believe that I exist right now. He's just like, why? So we have the Uranus card. So maybe like you're a little bit unpredictable. And you know what I think that translates to? Being very authentic. I always get that with Uranus too. Uranus is the planetary ruler in Western astrology for Aquarius. And there's a lot of talk of, and a lot of us are thinking about moving into the age of Aquarius from Pisces. And so I do feel like he or she finds you to be very smart, very capable, and somebody who's bringing new ideas to the forefront. That's this energy right here. Someone who is bringing new ideas to the forefront in some kind of way. And it's great because you are so wonderful and you're vibrant and refreshing to be around, but you're also disciplined with this Capricorn energy. Like you're the person, you have a planner, or you will have whenever you work on something, you have lists, you have some way that you're a very organized person, you meet your goals. You're always moving forward. If someone were to ask you like what your plan is for your life, what you want to do, with the Sun and Capricorn energy here, you know. This is also with the Sun and Capricorn energy, that is the peak of Sun energy, and it's called the undefeatable one. And the nakshatra name is called Uttara Ashada. So a lot of times these people are very work oriented. They can be, I'm just feeling like very focused energy. Like you're very focused on something. And it comes from your heart space. Like your heart, you're really invested in it. And yeah, so with that Uttara Ashada energy, I just feel the undefeatable one. There's something in you, like it's almost the sense around you that's really heavy, really magnetic. Like you've been preparing for this. You have a mission to you almost, your person feels like. So in the past, what's interesting, actually I just want to go up here really fast and read the shadow attribute for hero and heroine, because this is your shadow attribute card. Escapism and false sense of heroism. So now that I've just built you all up, maybe your person thinks that you feel like you need to do it alone, because there's a lot of independent energy here, especially these two, Capricorn and Uranus, very independent energies, seeming kind of strange in a sense. So I feel that there's something about you that your person feels like you always feel like you need to do it alone. And I feel like they find it hard to get around you. Maybe there's always a group of people around you. You're always doing something like productive or whatever. And maybe you are, because you're so connected to this mission, I feel like it puts up a barrier to get to you in a way. Because look at the, oh my gosh, literally, it puts up a barrier to get to you. Look at the picture on this card. They're like trying to get to each other over the mountain. So, and mountains are like in mythical stories, people always climb mountains to get closer to God, and they have like mystical visions and stuff. So it's like, I feel like sometimes your person, you feel so attached to this mission or to whatever it is that you're working on that your person wishes you kind of maybe come down to earth, like so to speak, in some kind of way, so that they could get to be around you. Maybe they feel like you're so focused on whatever it is that you're doing that you maybe lose sight of them or relationships or something like that. So although I'm just seeing that you're joy, and that one of the things that they really like about you, like their most favoriteest thing about you, is the Queen of Cups. You're very nurturing, you're very intuitive, you're very psychic, you're very giving, you're very nurturing. You're someone that's birthing something into the world. There's all of this pregnancy image. So I don't know if you are pregnant, you could be pregnant with this person's kid, or they would like for you to be, because there's a lot of that imagery going on here. And like I said, this is the most, I feel like they think that you're very well-rounded and that you approach the world with a sense of empathy and grace. So in the past, we have the King of Swords. So you could have been getting some kind of education. You were maybe really doing something by the book. I feel like you were trying to climb some kind of ladder, and it was very much, that's what I'm getting with this heroine thing, is that you've been so focused on climbing something, on meeting these goals. And Capricorn, right? The symbol for Capricorn is a goat, and the goat like climbs the mountain, right? And King of Swords, this is like the patriarch of the Harvard legacy family, is how it was described to me in a book. And that is what I think about, you know. And you always have the symbol of birds because they're very high up, so they can see things in a very different way than most people, but it's lonelier up there. You know, the surface of the earth is very densely populated with all of the beings that live on it and are nurtured by it. And so there's a bit like set apart. You could have actually moved away maybe for your studies or something like that. Yeah, so your person feels that distance, or did in the past, and then maybe you came back, or, you know, now all of a sudden you're the sun, and I feel like you're a very well-rounded person. It's just in the past you were very focused on building up your mind, building up your ideas, checking off things on your checklist. You were very no nonsense, and you had to make a lot of head over heart decisions with the King of Swords being here, and you were very self-focused. I feel like you went through a period of time where you were very self-focused, and you're such a vibrant person that it's like your person, you know, just wishes that they could have more of your time, honestly, is the energy that I'm getting. But you have a lot of goals, and you're very motivated. And that's why I kind of think we have this, I'm intimidated by you, right? We have all this sun energy. So it's like you cast a very big shadow. You're a person, you have a lot of goals, you're a lot to live up to. And so this person that you're thinking of, they feel intimidated by that. Like, are they good enough for you? And that's why we also have this, I'm trying even though it doesn't seem like it, because I think they're just trying to plan and strategize. Oh my gosh, literally we have the King of Wands here for the future. That's what they're doing. They're planning and strategizing, and they want to come forward. They want to come forward in a very strong way because they see you as a very strong person, and they want to match that energy. They feel like they can. They just want to present themselves to you in a way that you recognize them as such, as an equal, and as someone desirable, right? With the King of Wands, the master of that wands suit. It's interesting that we have the King of Swords and the King of Wands here. So masculine energy is projective, and it's about doing, right? Like where feminine energy is receptive, and it's more about being. So there's a lot of active energy going on around you. You don't have to be a man. This is a lot of masculine energy coming out, but then balanced out by very feminine energy. So I do feel that you're a pretty balanced person within yourself. Like you're a person who you try to get your goals right and your inner self right. You're trying to be a well-balanced person in order to be the most effective person you can be in the world. And your person sees that. Like I was saying, there could be some distance here, and your person is figuring out, maybe trying to travel to you, or, you know, figure that out in some way. But they want to take the reins in order to approach you, in order to come to you. And again, I'm getting that because over here I have the highest outcome of the situation, but I also have the most likely outcome based on the trajectory that things are going, on the way that things are going now. And we have two really great cards. We have the Ace of Wands and the Star. So based on this, I'm also getting this imagery of bridging two worlds together, trying to bridge the distance. The Star is also all about healing, and it's also about fertility, because this is another Aquarian card. So just interesting, but this speaks of Aquarius energy, the Star, major arcana, so pulling a lot of weight. And with this Aquarian energy coming through, the water bear is the symbol for Aquarius, and that was originally, like, you know, for the Nile River Valley. The water bear would overflood the Nile and make everything fertile. So it's like your person definitely wants to start something new with all this Wands energy as well. They want to start something new, but they just kind of don't know how. And so they're trying to strategize in order to be able to come forward. This is also the highest outcome, is the Ace of Wands. Aces are new beginnings. Wands is that cardinal, creative, passionate energy. So truly the highest outcome of this is coming together for a fiery, passionate new beginning, because the two of you, maybe there is something like work related. You guys could work together on something or partner in some kind of way. I I feel like, yeah, your person just wants to get to you. There's so much mountain energy here too. So I don't know if you live by mountains. I'm kind of getting that it would be you. Or they do, or there's like literally a huge mountain range in between you guys. Because also, we have the thing that they dislike most about you, because we have what they like most and then what they dislike most. We have the Knight of Wands. And again, there's a mountain and there's a dragon. And he's looking at how to get there. I feel like they just don't know how to get to you. They feel like you're very protected. Again, I just get that that's that group energy, and there might be a lot of people interested in you or that have their eye on you or something, and they don't want to, you know, they don't want to be like belittled or made fun of, not by you, but maybe by people around you. Maybe you have like a strong mother figure, or you have people around you that they feel like is guarding you. This also could be you. I'm also getting that you have a very fiery nature. You're very self-governing. And so I feel like if this person or anybody kind of comes at you wrong, you're going to let them know, you know? And I feel like, yeah, they see you as a bit of a wild card here with this Uranus energy, and where, you know, like there's parts of you that are very stable, and I feel like that's like your mission and the things that you want in the physical world. But as far as they're concerned, I feel like they don't know like really how you're going to react if they came at you with, you know, with a certain energy, you know? And I think this is very encouraging because it's the Knight of Wands. Like, he looks so unsure. He looks like he's trying to plan something out too. But this looks like he surveyed the lay of the land, and then the King of Wands is showing up making a solid plan here. So I do just, and he might even have help. You might even have a little person that's kind of helping, maybe a friend to both of you, little spy, you know? But he's really trying to find his own power in the situation. So he is trying. It's a lot of thinking, it's a lot of planning, a lot of strategy, it's a lot of, you know, scoping out the lay of the land here with I'm trying, even though it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, and maybe this person even like has been at school working towards some kind of a program, increasing their knowledge. Maybe there's some kind of a family situation here where, because I think your person sees you as a very family-oriented person. Like maybe you have a big family, maybe family's important, and especially the patriarch of your family could be quite important in your decision-making process, and that could also be why they're unsure. Yeah, that could be the dragon too. Like there could be a lot of checks that this person kind of has to meet here. And they just feel like, also, I feel like they know that this mushy-gushy part to you exists. But they don't always put it out there. But they've gotten a glimpse of it somehow. And it's like their favorite part to you. I'm also getting this imagery with the thief, because look, the heart is inside his coat there. Hidden. And he's like, hey, you want a little love? So, yeah, Dill, that is what I have for you guys. I hope that resonated. I know it's so short and sweet. I'm doing personals now, so my voice is kind of going a little bit, but I'm loving it. So, all right, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope that resonated, and I hope to see you back again. Bye. Okay, pile number 2, Little Lemon Pepper. We have, I am not a good person. Okay. What do I need to do to make you see? I love you. Oh boy. I can feel your anger. I love having you as a friend. Okay. Okay. So, pile number 1, we got a lot going on here. I think it's clear that there was some kind of situation that happened between the two of you guys. So the way that they're feeling about you right now is the 3 of Swords. I think this is heartbroken. They have a lot of sadness. I'm getting the sense that they caused this themselves, though, honestly. But they are still feeling, they're very heartbroken. They have a lot of feelings coming up. The Three of Swords also indicates betrayal, so there could have been some kind of betrayal that happened between the two of you. Yeah, I mean, first of all, we have, I can feel your anger, right? And what's interesting is in the past, you're showing up as the Empress. They saw you as the Empress, everything, the mother. This is major arcana. This is the height of the divine feminine path right here with the Empress. This is someone who is very self-sustaining, self-governing. She's got her stuff, you know, all of her ducks in a row. She has mastered all 4 of the suits, right? So she's really sexy with that fire element. She's very smart with that air element. She's, you know, can ground herself in reality and take care of herself financially with the Pentacles element. And she's also very loving and nurturing with the water element. This is someone who is everything. I also feel like there's something with your hair. Like they very much like your hair. And they felt like they were building with you. They felt like they could have everything with you. They recognized in you that you are the person that you have everything with. You're the person that you respect, that you nurture and grow. There's some quote that's coming through. There's a quote that's like, what you give women multiplies. You know, like whether, you know, that's multiplying cells to create a baby, or you know, you give women like ingredients so they make food. I don't know, now I'm just getting like very stereotypical, but there's some kind of quote about like whatever you give women they multiply, and that's kind of how I'm thinking that they see you, as like you're a person who can do a lot with a little, and that you are very impressive in that way and very independent in that way. You don't need anybody to give you anything, but when you do, you always make the best of it. Like you have a way of making situations better and making things grow. Maybe you like to garden and you literally have a green thumb. But what's interesting is in the future, we have the Queen of Wands. So with I can feel your anger, I feel like they're probably expecting that you are defensive, that you are on your guard, and that you are ready to defend yourself. They know you can defend yourself because you're showing up as the Empress here. You can let somebody know like what's up, but I also think that they're very attracted to that, and they would rather have that than like being ignored. I almost feel like you're ignoring this person, but it's like they just want you to yell at them because they feel like they deserve it. First of all, it's like, if you are ignoring them, there's a sense here that like that they don't want that, even though they know that you're upset. They're not afraid of your anger. They're afraid of your silence. They're afraid of you not calling them out, because there's something like almost, I want to use the word masochistic. It's a little bit dramatic, I know. But like with this, I'm not a good person and what can I do to make you see? They know they did something wrong. I feel like they might have a pattern of this. This could be third-party situations. This could be cheating. They hurt your heart in some way. And in some way, I feel is probably habitual. And so that's why they're saying they're not a good person. They want you to yell at them because they want you to even out the scales in that way, if that's making sense. They feel like they deserve your wrath. They feel like they deserve your anger. And so it's like, if you're just not talking to this person, they want you to like get it off your chest, like say mean things. Yeah, what do I need to do to make you see? This is the person, you know, like there's a type of person that like they know they're a bad person and they do bad stuff, and they just feel like they own that as a personality. You know, they're like, oh, I just do bad stuff, you know, and they think that so long as they're saying that, like this person might have even said that to you before they actually like did anything to you, or before you actually found that out. And then but that doesn't excuse it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting that energy of like, well, I'm just a bad person. I'm just a no good, rotten nobody. But that doesn't actually make it okay. They didn't actually like, you weren't consenting to be abused or mistreated, you know, with them saying that. They still need to be like working on themselves. And that's actually, I feel like you're unique and different in this way, because their favorite thing about you, we have the Four of Pentacles. This is being withdrawn. This is protecting your treasure. Their favorite thing about you is that you're very confident. You have a lot of inner respect going on here, and that you don't need anybody. I'm like, whenever I see the Empress card, I'm not even sure that that's the Emperor's baby. You know, I know they're like a match set or whatever, but I feel like the Empress doesn't really need anybody. And that could be like a divine child like Mary Magdalene. I have like weird views on alchemical sex. Maybe I'll talk about it, but you guys are going to think I'm weird, but it's okay. You probably already do. But yeah, like you don't need anybody. You're very self-sufficient. You're self-confident. You know what you know. You have a very strong mind. You have a very strong heart. You protect yourself. You defend yourself. And you expect to be treated like this Empress. And if not, the Queen of Wands can come out. Maybe even the Queen of Swords, because you also have the Air card up here. And let somebody know in a very eloquent way. But that's their favorite thing about you, is that you protect your treasure, your inner treasure. You don't just let anybody get to you. And you basically, I know this is like the Miser card and everything, but I'm getting that you know your worth. And that there's a part to you that, I feel like there's parts to you that like this person couldn't even get to. Maybe that's why they feel hurt, is because they love you. And maybe for them, it's like they know that they're not a good person. And if they're just upfront about it, like that's just who they are, like they'll never be able to change, kind of a vibe. Like that's just who they are. They don't have to engage in some self-actualizing process, take personal responsibility, which you are all about. That's how you get to be the Empress or the Emperor. They just want it to be enough that they love you and that they love having you as a friend. I feel like this is almost a plea of like, they'll have you any way that they can get you. They love having you in their life. But you are not having that. You're lemon pepper. You are zesty and biting. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Like, you're a person that you got it going on. A lot of people want to be around you. And like I said, with the biting part, like, you can defend yourself and you will. You have standards. That's what I'm trying to get at. You have standards, okay? So, I just want to say this. This is interesting because what they like least about you is the Ten of Pentacles. And I honestly think that you are self-sufficient, that you are protected. You might have family around you. You might have some kind of wealth. But with the Ten of Pentacles, that speaks to the height of stability. You are a very stable person. And I'm getting that with the Leo card here too, because Leo is fixed fire. It doesn't surprise me to see fixed fire coming out. I mean, literally, you might have Leo in your chart. You could have Taurus in your chart too. This is fixed earth. So, I mean, she represents all of them, but a lot of people attribute her to Taurus. So I just find it very interesting that their least favorite thing about you is the Ten of Pentacles, because I just feel like they know that you don't need them and you can be controlled. And like, if you didn't have this, I kind of don't like this person, you guys. I don't know. I guess we'll see like when we get further into it, but yeah. Maybe you have a family or something, but of course you would. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you would. You're the Empress and you take care of business and you know your worth and your value. How can that be your least favorite thing about someone? I don't get it. I just feel like they're intimidated by you a little bit because you're so abundant. I feel like you're abundant in a lot of ways. Like, in every way. Your cup runneth over in a lot of ways. You've got a lot going for you. So the way that they're seeing you, let's go back up here. So yeah, Leo, this is the energy of the sun. You might have some sun in your chart, whether you're a Leo in Western astrology. You could have a sun-ruled nakshatra. In Vedic astrology, that's going to be Kritika, Uttara Falguni, or Uttara Ashada for the sun-ruled nakshatras. And this is a person who is very warm, the life of the party, very self-governing, super sexy. Leo is the father. So again, it's the kind, and it rules the kind of sex that leads to children. So again, I'm seeing you as having children of some kind. And maybe even you feel quite protective of your children, and that's part of why you don't tolerate people's nonsense, you know? Maybe you haven't even brought this person around your family or around your children or something, because you have standards and this person needs to get their act right before you start bringing them in that way. But you are very attractive with a Leo card here, very sexy. You could have something with your back and with your side profile, I'm really feeling. And also, again, I'm getting hair. There's something with your hair. But this person finds you very sexually attractive. With the air card here, I'm getting the, well, first I'm getting the energy of Rahu. So you could be very, very intelligent. People with Rahu in their chart, and the Rahu nakshatras, Rahu is the north node if you're coming from Western astrology, but that is Shadabahisha in Aquarius. Hold on, I'm struggling with the other two. Swati in Libra, and Ardra, and Gemini, because it rules the middle of all the air signs. So this is somebody who's very intelligent, usually very successful. I feel like you've eclipsed the sun, because Rahu always tries to eclipse the sun. You've eclipsed their sun, they can't see you. But you're very intelligent. You know, people with heavy Rahu in their chart, they notice all the little details. They're very good at observing people. I think that contributes to this Four of Pentacles energy down here for you, where you, you can just observe people and you put together like a personality profile. And that's why you know kind of who to avoid and who not to avoid, because you are picking up on subtle details about people. And you will ice people out if you need to. And that's just honestly what I'm getting. But I do feel like you're very cunning. You're very smart. There could be something like, it's not a bad thing. All the words that I'm thinking of are like bad, like manipulative, or you're very like enterprising. And you're very proactive in like your pursuits is kind of how I want to say this. You're very strategic and very proactive, and you probably have a lot of goals. So your light attribute, we got mediator. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. I just feel like you're a well-balanced person. You use your communication skills very well. You're very educated. You come off very polished. And I feel like maybe they want you to yell at them, and like you're being very diplomatic, you know, you're not stooping to their level, you know, and I feel like this person's not used to that in some kind of way. Like it would give them some kind of release if you just screamed at them, because this is definitely Libra energy, right? And Libra opposes Aries, and we have like a lot of fire kind of coming in. So it's like you use logic and you're able to cut people off if they need to, kind of a thing. And it's like this person wishes you were a little bit more volatile, I feel like. So your shadow attribute is Virgin, fear of intimate union. So yeah, I just feel like this person feels that you're a little bit withdrawn, but it's because you're very calculating. Like you sit back, you watch people, you know who to avoid. So it could just be, for some of you, I feel like maybe that's a pattern. Maybe you don't like for people to get too close, because I feel like you have a lot to lose. Like you might have a lot of wealth. You could have just inner wealth that people, you know, want to get to. You could have some kind of family name that you need to protect in some sense of the word. And so that's why it takes a lot for people to be able to get close to you. So for some of you, that statement's going to ring true. Like it takes a lot for people to get close to you. She's self-protecting. Look at her body language there. She's got her blanket, first of all, of love, her comfort blanket, and then she's walling off her heart. And I'm noticing the same thing here, even though it's like she's holding people's hands. You're a person who brings people together for sure. You could have a high position in a company where you have to use your communication skills and your family name, maybe for some of you, to do something. But for others of you, you literally are afraid of intimate union. You just don't trust people, but it didn't come out of nowhere. Either way, you have a lot going for you. There's a lot to protect here. So the variable that they're aware of is the Tower. This is major arcana. Something fell apart. This is, the Three of Swords. It doesn't get clearer than this, really. So this is pulling a lot of weight because it's major arcana, this Tower card here, and of just everything kind of being shaken up and everything falling to the ground. And in the traditional tarot, there's a man and a woman, like a prince, a princess, or king and queen, or whatever. They're like jumping out of the tower, signaling like an end of the relationship as it was. And that's exactly what happened here. And it could have to do with 8th house issues, or maybe even 1st house issues, issues of like self and identity and how you interact with the world, because maybe you or them have been kind of withdrawn, but also 8th house issues, because this is the card of Mars, and Mars rules the 1st house and the 8th house in Vedic. So, and yeah, the 8th house, honestly, it deals with like assets after marriage. There's like an element to assets with that. Maybe this person saw you as like a ticket. Either way, they saw you as like amazing. But there's definitely wealth involved here in some way. like a bump in status or something like that. But yeah, those 8th house issues, it's like secretive. A lot of times people with like a major 8th house planet, like 8th house sun, one of the traits can be, you know, trying to get money through relationships. So I feel like maybe that was a part of it. But you're like really strong, and I love this card in this deck because look at her. She just looks like, yeah. Like, she doesn't look bothered by it at all, you know? Tower moments are for real. Like, it's one thing for us to be like, it's a tower moment in tarot, but when you're actually living it, you're actually feeling it, it's like, it's for real, you know? And so this is like heavy strength for this person to have this like knowing smile on her face. Like, I do feel like you're handling it much better than this person is, whatever happened between the two of you guys. So up here, I have cards for what is the most likely outcome based on the trajectory of things. And then I have what is the highest outcome for the situation. So based on the trajectory that things are going, we have the Hangman, which is major arcana. This is Neptune, Pisces energy, and it's all about being reflective, seeing things from somebody else's point of view, but it also represents stagnation. So I definitely don't see either one of you moving towards this. I do see you guys, you know, turning this over in your own mind, but definitely you as a point of strategy, to protect your heart and everything that's important to you and to maintain your own strength, because you are a very strong person. That's clear. That's clear in this. You are a very strong, zesty and biting person with the lemon pepper. You guys are never going to eat lemon pepper the same way again. But yeah, your person you're not going to move forward because you have too much self-respect and you are thinking about it. You're letting this teach you spiritual lessons, because I do see that you are, if this fear of intimacy thing, you are trying to work that out, even if it's warranted, because it can be warranted, right? Like, you have a lot going on. And so I feel like you're trying to work your way through that. And the same with this person. But this person just kind of feels stuck, I feel like. They don't really know how to move forward. And I feel like this question, what do I need to do to make you see, is something that they are going to ruminate over. Now, the highest outcome of this is the 9 of Cups. And this is all about self-fulfillment and being in the realm of cups. You have a lot of water energy coming through with like where this is going, right? Like, we moved from a lot of air and a lot of fire into the realm of water is kind of how I'm seeing it, because also the Tower, right? Scorpio is a water sign. Aries is a fire sign. So we have that talk going on between fire and water. Makes sense, because water often talks about an apology. I'm not necessarily seeing that here. I'm just seeing self-fulfillment. She's obviously meditating alone in some beautiful, like, isolated area. And I'm thinking maybe that's actually going to happen. Maybe, you know, the highest outcome is just getting away. But I'm seeing all this very metaphorically. Just getting away, meditating, thinking about your fulfillment, you know, folding this into your spiritual progress here, because you've been on a journey, I feel, and you've gone through a lot of stuff already. This is what makes you the Empress to begin with, and you have the Leo card. All that strong energy. I saw a quote that was like, nobody will ever understand the violence that it took to become this gentle. And I love that. And it just kind of like touched me in a kind of a deep way. And I feel like behind a person who is able to become the Empress, to rise up into that Empress energy or that Emperor energy. And keep in mind, you guys, you can be a male and resonate more with the Empress journey, and you can be a female and resonate more with the Emperor journey. It's not about like gender. It's about your energy and your spiritual path. So you have been on that spiritual path and you've achieved a lot of things in the past and you've turned it into wisdom. And I feel like you've been able to help yourself and a lot of other people by like doing that. And you're almost there. With the 9 of Cups, you're very nearly finishing the spiritual cycle here, where you've been collecting these nuggets of wisdom and, you know, forgiving and learning, forgiving yourself, forgiving, you know, all in good time. I don't like the way that our society talks about forgiveness in general, because it's like forced and, you know, whatever. Forgive people when you forgive people. I feel like it's there's that quote where like forgiveness is the scent of the lavender when it's crushed by the heel. It's like just a natural process, right? Like when those molecules of the lavender get squished up, it just naturally releases. So when you've fulfilled all of your requirements for forgiveness, then forgiveness naturally happens. I feel like it's a natural process if you engage in your spiritual work, right? It's not something you have to like pursue with a beeline with all this fire energy. That's why I feel like forgiveness is in the realm of water. So that's really what I'm seeing, is like you just focusing on lighter things with this little kitten playing with the crab over here and being fascinated. There's something about like being fascinated, maybe taking a trip when all this madness is over. I'm shooting this in the craziness, the height of the craziness of all things. That sounded so dramatic. But yeah, just, you know, focusing on the simple things too. Get a little vitamin D via that sunlight, you know, breathe in a little bit of fresh air. Maybe just, even if you can, like, one full breath is a meditation kind of a thing. You don't have to move mountains. You're not like pile one where there's all this mountain energy. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys, pile number 2. I hope that resonated. It sounds like you're going through it, but you got it. Honestly, you got it. So, yeah, I hope to see you around. Bye, guys. Okay. Pile number 3 with the parsley. Let's see what's going on. I'm an F boy or an F girl. Great start. I go places hoping I'll see you there. Okay. And you misunderstand. Okay. I knew this was going to be the cute pile, and it is. You guys are cute. Okay, wait. I don't really know how these wanted to be put out. Sorry, I'm like struggling. Okay, parsley. I knew you were going to be cute because parsley is a garnish, right? And it has superior flavor. So do you. So parsley is like often used as a garnish, and when I pulled it out, I was like, I bet that's gonna be the attractive pile, and it is. I mean, you have Venus like right here, and also Mercury. Mercury is a really cute energy too, I think. So, and you also have the damsel card for your light attribute, which says, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. So that's a lot that's coming out into this pile. There is something about being self-sufficient and self-reliant. That's the thing about Venus. They look very soft and tender on the outside, male or female. Venus energy, if you're Venus dominant, they always look very sweet and loving on the outside, and they're tough as nails on the inside. And Mars tends to be the opposite way, where it's like kind of tough on the outside, but soft and squishy on the inside. So I do feel like you have that energy of... I do feel like you're very determined. There's something about financial independence coming through here. You are very skillful as well with this Mercury energy. You're probably very skillful with your words, but probably skillful with your hands as well. With the Venus coming out, Taurus rules the hands. Taurus and Gemini are both, because Taurus is so sensorial, a lot of Taurians make their living with their hands. Like a lot of them are massage therapists, acupuncturists, doctors and nurses that put their hands on the body. They really know how to touch you. So if you have been intimate with this person, that's something that they very much noticed, is that you are, first of all, beautiful in every way, probably their physical ideal in some way, and that you are really, you're very sensual. You might even like to like light candles, have nice scent, like you always smell good, and you're very clean with the Mercury energy here. Like all your clothes look really nice. You probably just look really nice, like very put together, prim and proper. You always have your nails done, your hair done. You know, you're the person that like has their life together. And you're good with relationships too, because Mercury rules like more like community around, you know, that 3rd house of community and the 6th house of everyday. You might actually really be very good at taking care of yourself. You might have like a good exercise routine, good food stuff, like you like food. You probably eat really good food, but with the parsley, because like you're good with your garnishes and stuff. Every little detail, right? Like if you're making it to garnish status, right, with your food, good on you, because it's not like you just, like me, I just like to throw everything in a pot and be like, we'll see how this comes out, and sprinkle a bunch of lemon pepper on it because I live for lemon pepper. But that's not you. Like, you pay attention to every little detail, and you love to make things beautiful. You're probably very creative. You might really like the arts. You might be a person who likes making art in some sense, but you're just, I feel like you are art and you make art is how your person sees you. And then like the shadow attribute, we have vampire. Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. Now, I don't know about all that. I think, okay, so there's this theory in astrology. Claire Nakti always talks about this, like in a lot of her videos, of incarnating. She doesn't always talk about it like this, but she talks about incarnating in a magnetic state. And that is somebody who is attractive, and whether it's physically attractive, but in some way they're pulling people's energy towards them. I'm getting the energy of being very attractive here. So I do feel like you pull on people's energy kind of towards you. She talks about this, especially like with women on the spiritual path, of like, it can be kind of draining for a woman to be with a male who is incarnated in a magnetized state, because they kind of get drier over time, but it's flipped for you. So you might even like to be with someone who's a bit like got that worshipful energy, like they see you and they're so appreciative of you and like your beauty. And I think that's what this is kind of about, where it's like your beauty and who you are as a person, how amazing you are, honestly, is kind of draining, especially to people who would be attracted to you in like a sexual kind of way. And maybe your person feels like you kind of get a lot of things that you want because of it. I don't necessarily feel like they think that you use this as a weapon, but let's dive down and get more information. Because for those of you who are new to my channel, I get a little overwhelmed when I look at more than one card. So, how are they feeling about you? The Five of Wands. They feel like there's a lot of competition for you. Not surprising, given everything that we've got going on here. They are conflicted. I feel like they have a lot of conflicting thoughts about you. But they do feel like, okay, because we have this I'm an F-boy or an F-girl. I feel like your friends might be talking about them, or they're wondering like what you've heard about them. Because they are an F-boy or an F-girl, I feel like they're viewing you as a person. They might have other people, you know what I'm saying? Because the Five of Wands is about competition. There's a lot of ladies in this card here. So if you guys aren't dating, or maybe even if you are dating, then I think this person might have other options that they're considering. But they find you to be very beautiful. You know what I think this vampire energy might be, because we're dealing with this F-boy energy, is that the chronic complaining and codependency, I don't think it's actually that. Like, I think you actually have standards for yourself, and you're like, hi, you're not gonna be with 4 other girls, thanks, or 4 other guys, thanks. Because you have like a standard for yourself, and that's not chronic complaining, or, you know, wanting to be in a monogamous relationship with someone is not codependency, but like your person might see that, you know? We also have you misunderstand. I might pull a card specifically for this one, but I feel like that's going to make itself clear as we go. And then obviously I go places hoping I'll see you there. I mean, you could have cut this person off, and this person feels like they have a choice. I can just see that so clearly. Yeah, they are trying to find you and trying to get your attention. I will say this, okay, because there's a lot of conflict energy, and then we also have the Eight of Wands kind of up here. You threw a wrench in their plans in some kind of way. I don't think this person was expecting, they do feel strong feelings for you. This I'm an F-boy or an F-girl thing, I do feel is habitual in some kind of a sense, and they weren't really ready to give that up, and they recognize your worth. They do see you as someone who is like very feminine, regardless of your gender. Like, there's a lot of very feminine kind of qualities to you, of like being very physically beautiful, and with this damsel card, like there's something very romantic, and you expect like a romance story from your person. And like I said, Venus, very soft and very beautiful on the outside, tough as nails on the inside. So in the past, you have the Six of Wands, and so you were standing out. You're very successful in some way. I feel like you stood out among the crowd to this person. I just feel like they're kind of disrespectful, and that, like, I'm going to pull a card on this. But, yeah, that you just stood out to them, and you weren't really paying them any mind. They felt like they had to really work to get your attention. Because you kind of have that kind of expectation around yourself that somebody is going to work to get your attention. You're abundant, you're very giving, you're very pleasant to be around. They could have seen you at some kind of an art function. This could have been like they saw you and met you at some kind of function where you were the center of attention. But the Six of Wands is all about victory. And I feel like you weren't really vying for their attention, and that like caught their attention. Also, one of the things I love about this card in this deck is that the Queen of Wands in this deck, she sits on a dragon, but the Six of Wands here, like she has her dress that's beautiful and feminine and wonderful, but it's got like the dragon on it and all the red. So I do feel like you're very strong, like you wear power very well and very effortlessly. Their favorite thing about you is the Six of Pentacles. So we do have 2 sixes here. Maybe there's some Virgo in your chart because you also have the Mercury card. Mercury is the planetary ruler of Virgo, and Virgo rules that 6th house. I do feel like you take very good care of yourself with that sixth house energy going on here. But I do feel like you have high standards for like the people that are around you, and you notice things and you bring them up. And so I feel like this person finds that draining, but you're noticing important things. You're noticing like skeletons in the closet and you're bringing them up. And yeah, that's something that's going on, I feel. So the thing that they like about you is the Six of Pentacles. This is like you give from a place of superiority. There's something about you that has rank, that is recognized as being like a commodity, something that's very special. You stand out, like you definitely stand out amongst a crowd. You're very abundant in some kind of a way. You're very giving, you're very loving. That's the energy of Venus too. Venus likes to take care of people. It's exalted in Pisces, and Pisces is the energy of, I always get the energy of Amma, the hugging saint. Like people stand in line for hours to just hug her because her love is so pure. And you have that way about you where like you have this very loving nature. You probably stick up for people. You're always giving people stuff. What do? You do something. You do something where you're giving people stuff. It's probably very creative. Maybe you're an activist. You do some kind of work for the community. Maybe you volunteer a lot. You could be a part of a group or something that volunteers a lot. You could have a group that you meet with fairly regularly. Something like that. Your person really likes that. Their least favorite thing is this Eight of Wands. I feel like sometimes you let this person know, right? This is all about fast, passionate communication. But in this deck specifically, look at all the chaos going on here. You've got a twister in the background. You've got your Eight of Wands that are usually all lined up in a row. They're everywhere and they're scattered. And that's what I feel like you scattered the competition. You threw this person off. I feel like you do kind of make demands for yourself. And so this person knows that they have to choose, Two of Pentacles, between their old life and this new life. They have to change their traditions. They have to change their routine habits. This is like deeply rooted neural grooves that they're changing against. A neural groove just forms in your brain with patterns over time. And the deeper the neural groove is, the longer you've been doing something. It's just habitual. So it's like there's something, they know they can't have the best of both worlds with you, right? You're not going to stand for it. You're a very self-respecting person. And that's important to them. But like they really like that about you, and they know that you deserve to be treated that way. They're just unsure if they can deliver that. They really like to look at you, honestly. I feel like that's also part of the I go places hoping that I'll see you there, because they really like to watch you in action. You might have like a schedule or something that you post of events that you're hosting, or I feel like there's something very social about you to where it's like this, there's something that you regularly like to do. There's something that, you know, you always go to this diner on this day. You know, you have an art show at this time. Something like that, where it's like your person tries to show up there. Yeah. So what is the variable that they are most aware of? The Eight of Pentacles. They know that they've got to put in the hard work with you. There's something about that that's tied to the you misunderstand. Let me just pull a card to clarify. We'll clarify the energy with you misunderstand. Why does you misunderstand here? too many. Okay, I was starting to get it with those 4 cards that I was looking at. Because we had the 5 of Cups, the Chariot, the 2 of Cups, and the 10 of Swords. There's something about, like, again with the 2, right? The 2 of Pentacles, because the Chariot is all about merging 2 things that shouldn't go together. There might be some, like, this person feels less than you in some kind of way. And because of that, they have these bad habits. I feel like your person just has bad habits, and you have your habits under control. With that 6th house, you're really good at that, and in that way, there's some mirroring going on between you guys. Your person definitely wants you. They want to move towards you. We see that here with the 5 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. You know, it's like your person wants to come in and crush all the competition, and it's like out of all these people and all their wands, they know that you have the best wand. They know that you're like the best one, you know, to go after. You know, now in the other 4 cards, we had the 2 of Cups and then the 10 of Swords. So it's like, I don't know, there's something where it's like they feel like you guys are meant for each other, but that there's a painful ending or betrayal. They're scared that they're going to betray you. I feel like your person is actually maybe trying to protect you. Like they know that they have these bad habits. And this could be like, maybe this was like more in the past that they were like this and they feel like there's gossip. Okay, for some of you, I know this like negates everything that I said. For some of you, this is like more in the past. Like they want to go after you. They want to be faithful. They are scared that they can't be because they have a past to them. But they're worried about what things you've heard. And that's why we have you misunderstand. Oh my gosh, because we have you misunderstand and I'm an F boy or an F girl. So I really think that there is some truth to that. Like this person has had some patterns in the past. Like there's a reason that people are saying that. But they're wanting to come towards you. But they know that you have other options. And so they're afraid that you're not going to choose them. They're afraid that you're going to listen to the gossip. And honestly, they might be afraid of trying to like commit to someone. But they want to pursue you, and that's why we also have, I go places hoping you're going to be there. With the Knight of Wands, like this person wants to come in, but remember the Knight of Wands he has a reputation for being the player of the deck. Quick in, quick out. What say you about that person? Hold on. There's your person want to say about that player energy. Just saw the 8 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Your person might need rehab for something. My gosh, the 8 of Wands. So much Wands energy. Your person has a lot of thoughts. A lot of like frenzy, kinetic energy about what's going on here. Well, first of all, before I even started shuffling, when I was asking, like, what do you have to say about that player energy, I kept thinking, go over to the 8 of Pentacles, because this is the variable that they're most aware of. They know that it's going to be hard work. Your person might have, like, a sex addiction. They might have an addiction of some other kind. I don't see the Devil card here, but you don't have to, you know. But they're hiding it with this 8 energy here. They might want to talk to you about it. They might want to rush to get some kind of help. They might need to fly somewhere in order to get help, in order to be secluded and away from everything so that they can work on themselves. I do think there's some fear that you're going to choose someone else. And that's why the 8 of Wands is coming up as like their least favorite thing about you, because we have their best thing is the 6 of Pentacles and their least favorite thing is the 8 of Wands. And I feel like that might be that you have other people around you that you're kind of flirty with. And this person just wants to like knock that out here. But with the 8th house, I mean, this could deal with sex. This could deal with repressed issues. It can deal with addiction. It's like the darker aspects of life that people try to really keep repressed and hidden. But I really feel like with the 8 of Pentacles, your person wants to do the work here. So up here I have the highest possible outcome and the most likely outcome given the current state of things. So first of all, 7 of Cups deals with addiction. Maybe your person is an alcoholic. Maybe they go out. Maybe your person likes to party a lot. They go out, they hook up with people, and that's something that you've heard. You could have even witnessed this. So maybe there's a very social aspect here that could be taking place like around bars, like around a college campus or something where people go out a lot. So, and there's a lot of like just ungrounded energy in this. If things just keep taking their natural course, I feel like your person knows that they need to decide and they need to make a decision in the material world, grounded in the material world. But if things keep going the way that they're going, they're not going to do that. They're just going to stay in their fantasy head mind about you being the perfect damsel for them, because it's like the princess card, right? And she looks so beautiful, and this is like everything, regardless of gender. Your person is like, okay, well, they're just going to keep picturing this beautiful, perfect fantasy. But in that sense, the reality is just going to keep slipping away from them. They could be getting taken advantage of in some way. Maybe they had a friend that maybe got them as a bad influence or something. So the highest outcome is the Ace of Swords. This is a new beginning. This is cutting things out that don't belong. This is cutting through the gossip. I feel like there's heavy gossip in this situation, which is probably why you're seeking out some clarity. But yeah, your person wants to like cut through the gossip. They want to ground whatever knowledge that they're learning about into the material world. This is about getting more knowledge. This is about getting education. This is about starting a journey that you are going to need to continue on. So with using your swords energy, using that logic energy, being willing to cut out things that are no longer serving you, making head over heart decisions. And we saw that with the, it's still not there, but the 8 of Cups is all about walking away. I mean, honestly, I'm getting a drinking problem here, like really heavy, like walking away from that alcohol life, walking away from that emotional place, you know, because your person, I feel like you shook up this person's life of like, hey, I'm not going in a good way here. I feel like meeting you, like you were someone that they like were very, very drawn to and very attracted to. You stood out to them and you're successful and you have your life together. And you made this person want to be your equal. With it, you misunderstand. I do feel like there's a piece to this puzzle that they don't want to tell you. We have a lot of 8th house energy coming through. They're trying to hide it. They want you to see them in a good light. And this decision that they have to make is very, very hard. And they just need to do it. They need to cut out bad influences in their life. And I do feel like they need to cut out this addiction. And I'm feeling heavy rehab, right? Moving that 8 of Cups, moving away from that addiction energy up into, right, the air element. That's what that's all about. Your person needs a heavy dose of air element. They need a rude awakening. They need a rigorous path. They need to cut out things, you know. That's part of the 12-step program, I'm pretty sure, is like, you know, cutting out people, places, things that, you know, trigger that response. So your person's needing to do that in some way where they just need a new start. Your person needs a fresh new start. And honestly, the gossip isn't helping their situation at all. That's not helping their mental health. Your person, I feel like, does need some mental health services as well. And honestly, I feel like you're a really good influence because Mercury, I always associate Mercury with that air element. And there's a part of you that, like, you're very fun. You're very fun to be around, but you also tell the truth. Like, you know the truth and you're very smart and you can kind of see things and you can help put together a plan and those kinds of things for someone. And I'm not saying that you need to be this person's like babysitter or counselor or anything like that, but I'm just seeing that I feel like you had a pretty good influence on this person, you know? They just hope that you don't believe the gossip. So, that was more intense than I thought it was going to be. Pile number 3. Again, only take what resonates. You know, your mind is your own, and tarot is me sitting in my living room reading archetypical images into some cards. So just take that for what it is, you know. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. So with that being said, you guys, take care, and I hope to see you back on my channel again. Bye.